let's say you want to figure out how often to get a haircut in order to save the most money. So you can imagine that if we have a plot and on this axis you have um, how much money you're spending on average, and then down here you have how long in between haircuts, right? So if you're getting a haircut every day, that's going to be really expensive, right? Haircuts are expensive. But on the other hand, if you let your hair grow out, then you're going to be spending more and more money on shampoo. And so you can imagine there's a point down here that we can find that tells you uh, how often to cut your hair to save the most money. So, in order to figure that out, first we gotta like kind of write down what each thing is, right? So, um, how much money you're spending on average on haircuts? That one's pretty simple, right? So that's, and I'm doing this backwards from my point of view, so forgive me. All right, so money on average, that's what this bar up here is. Um, that's equal to basically the price of a haircut. Fumble down. Okay. Price of a haircut divided by how often you get the haircut. Simple. Now, the amount of money that you spend on shampoo is a little trickier. That one is, again, it's, average money, and then we're going to do a tiny s for shampoo is equal to, and that is, all right, let's make a plot to kind of figure it out. So basically, on this side, we have how much money we're spending on shampoo. On this side, it's time. And you can kind of imagine that it's going to be kind of a straight line, right? As where this number right here is the rate of your hair growth. I'm going to call that RH times your how much your shampoo costs. Actually, the rate of a hair growth is the slope, but you get the idea. So R S. Okay. And, and so if this is this line right here, then if you want to figure out what this area is, right, how much money you've spent in between a haircut, then that's just, this is a triangle, so that's just 1/2 base times height. And so you end up with, I'm going to write this back here next to this guy. You end up with um, the first R, H, and then R, S, and then T, because that's the base, and then divided by 2. Okay, so we're halfway there. I'm going to grab another color. So then if we want to figure out how much a, um, like if we want to get the maximum of this function, or really the minimum of this function, we need to take the derivative. So we need to kind of combine these two together. So that's, that's just, other way. No, come on, BR. All right. And then average, and then equals, and that's the first one. So that is P over T, and then plus, and then that's R, and then the second R, and then H, and S, and T, and 2. Okay, so that's how much money overall you're spending over time. And we need to take the derivative of this with respect to T. So um, hopefully that's a D from your point of view. And then T, I'm just going to do partial, why not? Okay, we're basically just taking the derivative. And then the same thing on the other side. with respect to t. And so this first term right here, or I guess the second term right here, is pretty simple because, basically the t crosses out. And so I'm running out of space. I'm going to write it here. Okay, so the other way. So the average over t and, derivative other side. Okay, that's equal to, so we've got this, the hair term, or sorry, shampoo term, that is just the R times the R, the two rates, or the rate of hair growth and the cost of shampoo, and then divided by 2. Guys, kind of move that there. Okay. And so, because the t drops out, and then the other one's a little trickier. That one we've got a t underneath, so we got to take the, it becomes -2. So let's gonna grab this pencil, kind of move these out of the way. Okay. And you get a minus, and so you just get a, well, the p stays there, and then you get t squared and minus. Except for from your point of view, the t's over, or the square's over there, man. Okay. All right, so we're finding the maximum or the minimum. Maximum minimum slope is 0, so we set this equal to 0. And so basically we set these two terms equal to each other. Let me move this thing and this thing out of the way. All right. So we have t. Get closer. That's fine. We'll just do it over here. All right. So we have p, and I have to look at what or was it? This here, right here. So we got p over t squared on one side. It's a terrible 2. And then, right, the minus leaves when you cross it to the other side. And on this side, we just have the r's divided by 2. The RH and RS, the terrible S. Come on. Come on, there we go. Okay, and then divided by 2. And now we want to find t, right, because that gives us the optimal t. And so I'm going to write this here, and hopefully that works. So moving your terms around, we get t is equal to r. One second. No, t's on the other, right? Because t's on the bottom. I'm kind of skipping a few steps. Yeah, no, okay. We have p on top, and then we have 2 next to it. And then we got r, and that's rs, rh. And we have a t squared, so we got to take the square root of both sides. And there you go. You have a function. If you know the price of your haircut, you know an approximate rate of how fast your hair grows and how much shampoo you use, then, really what the price of your shampoo is, then you can calculate your optimal. I did this a while back, and I used pretty cheap shampoo, and I ended up getting about 400. Oh geez, this part's gonna be tricky. Okay. 400 Nope, other way. Okay, well, anyways, I ended up getting around 456 days, which seems like a lot and I'd look pretty shaggy, but you get the idea.